Welcome to the LJVM Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and round 9 of the Monsters of Destruction. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Huffman. Starting off every show, every event, is the very popular pit party down on the floor. It's a chance for the drivers to meet the fans, and more importantly, for the fans to meet the drivers and get pictures. In the Chicago-style racing, let's look at the points after 8 rounds. Dragon Slayer first, 177. Bigfoot in second. Monster Moose, Monster Patrol, Spider-Man, and number 29, Kevin Harvick. The straight line drags after 8 rounds. Monster Patrol and Dragon Slayer tied for first with 163 points each, followed by Bigfoot, Spider-Man, Linux Obsession, and number 29, Kevin Harvick. Paul Jensen and Spider-Man on the foreground of your screen. Amber Skywalker and number 29, Kevin Harvick on the far side. They move up to the line to start. This is not a race. It's just qualifying for the program. The overhead camera. Amber on the right, Jensen on the left. Here's the start. Paul Jensen, the big man, gets a little bit of a better bite getting off the line, and he will take the victory with a 2.916 clocking. Amber's got to settle for a 3.141. So round 1 of qualifying in the books as we go to the second qualifying round. The second lineup, and here it is. It'll be Monster Patrol on the far side of the screen, and Samson. This is a brand new truck. First time in the Monsters of Destruction series. Dan Patrick, the big man with the big arms, going up against a veteran. This guy has been around for a long time, and he owns about 21 monster trucks. Paul Schaefer. There's a start. Schaefer gets the bite, gets off the line a little bit faster. That was close, very close to call. Let's check the results. It is Monster Patrol, 3.140, and right behind him, a little slower than that, 3.808 seconds for the Samson machine. Dan Patrick, the driver. There's a shot of Schaefer's Monster Patrol. Universal Studios sponsoring, very big with the kids. They love this truck. Frankenstein Monster Patrol. Up now, round number 3 in the qualifying for the straight line drags. This will bring out Bigfoot, Dave Harkey, a driver who's been around for a long time. One of the older trucks in the Bigfoot fleet, but he's a tough driver. Very, very fast. Let's see what he can do here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. As we get set to start for qualifier number 2, there's the cameras inside both trucks. They line up in front of the cars. Tough country suspension. That's a Dragon Slayer, Craig Christensen. He's tougher than a $2 steak. He wants to win tonight here. Going up against Bigfoot. Here's the start. Dragon Slayer on the fore part of your screen, the lower part of your screen. Bigfoot on the far side. The start. Looks like we have a win by Dragon Slayer. Let's check the clocks. Yep, 2.879 for Dragon Slayer. 2.909 right behind him for Bigfoot. Very close competition. So in the straight line drags qualifying, we have 3 trucks breaking the 3-second barrier. Dragon Slayer, Bigfoot, and Spider-Man all in the 2s. Monster Patrol, Kevin Harvick, and Samson. Now that's kind of a surprise. Samson down there in 6th place in qualifying. We'll be back to the LJVM Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for more exciting monster truck action. We'll be right back. Monster truck action. It's brought to you by AmeriGas, America's propane company. And MonsterTruckStore.com, your online source for monster truck merchandise. And the finest in t-shirts, Cruisin' Tees. Motorsport silk screening at its best. Here's an interesting look. Now this is the first arena that we've been able to park the trucks outside. They're coming through the tunnel onto the floor, onto the track. As a look at it from Bigfoot's inside the cab camera. And Bigfoot, Dave Harkey, will go up against Amber Skywalker. Here she is. She weighs about 116 pounds soaking wet. And certainly the prettiest driver out there. Single mother, about 23 years old. She's going up against an old established veteran. Dave Harkey driving one of the older Bob Chandler trucks. This is Bigfoot. On the left. There you got a good shot at her, of her. Amber Skywalker, number 29, Kevin Harvick, sponsored by the NASCAR driver. And on the other side, the Bigfoot truck of Dave Harkey as they line up. The officials staging them, coming up to the line. They'll hit the kill switch to show they have a kill switch so they don't go into the wall as they finish their run. There's a look at Harkey's, inside Harkey's truck. Here's a start. Harkey does not want to be beat by a girl, even one as pretty as Amber, let me tell you that. They hate to be beat by her, and she loves to beat the boys. The time, Bigfoot, 2.874. Kevin Harvick, 3.007, so it is going into the semis. It's going to be Dave Harkey driving Bigfoot, and a tough break for Amber. Here's another look at it. Inside the truck of Bigfoot, Dave Harkey, you can see all he's got to do there. He's got so much to do. Another look at the start. Harkey got a little bit better start. Hit the ground, stayed on the gas. Amber shut down just a hair too early. Amber on the left, Harkey on the right. You can see it right there. Excellent camera work. We go down to heat number 2. That's Frankenstein, Monster Patrol against Spider-Man, Paul Jensen. And joining me is the Line X Obsession driver, Rick Swanson. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. My truck's on the West Coast doing a display, so it's not here right now. But I flew in, sit in the booth with you, help me commentate whatever I can.
And I know it's going to be, you're going to be watching this. Okay, here we go. On the far side, that's Schaefer. This side is Jensen. The start looks like Jensen on the Hummer gets the lead. And what problem with, what happened with Paul Schaefer there, Rick?
From what it looked like, I bet shocks broke, the top mount on the shocks, but until I get closer, I can't tell.
He will take the win, 2.859 seconds. Spider-Man
yeah,
will go
see
second.
The shocks sticking up?
Oh, yeah, broken shock. Tough break for Paul Schaefer. He's going to be working on that in the pits.
The top of the shocks are held with a 3/4 inch bolt, and every once in a while, if it shears, that's what happens.
This is a 5-ton truck, 10,000 pounds plus. Actually, probably a little bit more with that long wheelbase. So he's backing up. He'll go to the pits. He'll start working on the shocks right away.
Yeah, what he has to do is drain the nitrogen out, bleed them back down, set them in place, put a new bolt in, if it's only the bolt that broke. Let's hope so, so you get back.
You know, it's interesting. When I was doing a show on ESPN about 15 years ago, they had about 12, 13 inches of suspension. What have you guys got now? Over 30?
12 years ago, 13 inches of suspension. Those guys would be dreaming of that much. They probably only had 5 or 6. Yeah, now we have 26 in the front and 30 standard on most trucks.
That's incredible how the beating they can take and still keep on running. So Monster Patrol will go to the semi if he can get it running. Let's take another look at it. Rick, call this. Tell us what happens.
See, when he comes down, it just, who knows how long the bolt was, how long the bolt's been in there for. It was just time. You know, those are the type of things that you have to replace.
It seems like he's going a little sideways as he comes down on the ground. Look at him going a little bit to the left.
It's just the way it bounced. It happens when the shocks broke. It took the truck with him.
We'll be back with more exciting action with Rick Swanson and Larry Huffman from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. From Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And this guy, it's the first time we've seen him, Rick. That's Sampson, and that is Dan Patrick. You know this guy?
Oh, very well. He built most of the frames.
He'll be going up against Tough Country suspension of Craig Christensen. Now, tell me a little about Sampson, about Dan Patrick, because he's got monster arms.
Yeah, well, that's just cosmetic. What Dan is he's the builder of 90% of all the trucks. He actually used to work with Bigfoot, and him and Bob are the ones that came up with the tube chassis and the nitrogen shock.
Now, you say he's called Grandpa? He's been around for a while, I take it.
If you could call him that. He's still older than me. I have to respect my elders.
Okay, Sampson, a bad start for Sampson. He was caught asleep at the switch, and Craig Christensen takes the victory. Now, what happened there?
I don't think he was watching the light, unfortunately.
He got a 3.639, and Dragonslayer 2.825 seconds. He's happy. Christensen goes back to the pits, and he's very happy. Take another look at it. Tell us what happened here, Rick Swanson.
Well, obviously there was something with the lights. Craig got a better jump on the Dan start. Probably had a bad view. I got to be nice to Dan. He's building my second truck right now.
Well, it's a tough break for Dan Patrick and Sampson. He did not do well at all in that round. Let's take another look at it. About a half second behind him on the start. That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Well, you know,
it's embarrassing. You got to say. You got to say it's got to be embarrassing. He was caught asleep at the switcher, couldn't see the lights. A tough break for Dan Patrick and Sampson. Semi number 1 will bring Bigfoot out against Monster Patrol. Now, Bigfoot driven tonight by Dave Harkey, another veteran of the Monster Truck Wars over the last 15, 20 years. So it's Bigfoot coming up. There's a good shot. What do you know about this guy?
Well, when I first started driving, Dave was actually driving Snakebite, which is another Bigfoot truck at the time. And then through the years, he moved into a Bigfoot truck, and he's a good competitor. I mean, he's always tough. I'd say the same thing as Dan. You know, they're always tough people. unfortunately, everybody has, you know, bad brakes.
Yep. Well, here we go with Dave Harkey driving Bigfoot. It'll be a single run because Monster Patrol, Paul Schaefer, is in the pits with a broken shock. They're frantically working on it, trying to repair it. So Harkey gets a free ride here. Let's see what he does as far as time goes. Straight line drags. Here's the start. A little better than before. 2.968. That's good. Monster Patrol, DNF. Is that a good thing for a driver to get out there and be able to run a single run?
I really like when I get to do it because it lets me feel the track out. I can try whatever I want, or even if I screw up, it doesn't matter.
You're not under any pressure, right?
Exactly.
Go out there and make your run. Okay.
That's when you get to try different tricks and see what the track's going to do.
Well, here's the Tough Country Hummer of Craig Christensen, Dragon Slayer, and he's going up against Spider-Man, his stepson, Paul Jensen. Look inside the vehicles. They're both identical Hummers built north of Salt Lake City. Even starts, but it looks like Jensen. Whoa, whoa, look out. Christensen almost kisses the wall. So the win goes to Spider-Man with a 2.835 clocking. Dragon Slayer right behind him, 2.863. And Spider-Man will go to the main event. What's going on here, Rick?
He's actually asking the officials, if you see out the corner of the window, there was a track official. He's asking who won, left or right
Which lane?
That way he knows if he has to go back, fuel, get ready for this next round, or does he have to get Paul ready for next round?
Paul needs to get ready for the next round because he just won. Let's take another look at it. Spider-Man, it's so close. Closest race of the night, and almost into the wall goes Christensen. Look inside the Christensen machine from our in-cab camera. Boy, you guys got a lot to do in there, Rich.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. That's why, you know, everybody says, oh, I could drive a truck, no problem. I wish that we had a truck that we could put people in, just say try it.
So Spider-Man takes the victory. The straight line final will be Bigfoot going on against Spider-Man. Paul Jensen against Bigfoot. Driving Bigfoot, it's a change. Dave Harkey coming out. The main event is coming up in the straight line drags from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That's a look at Harkey inside Bigfoot. They line up. Spider-Man on the left part of your screen. Bigfoot, Harkey on the right. Paul Jensen right there in Spider-Man, 6'6", the biggest man. What's going on here, Rick?
They're testing his RII, the remote ignition interrupter. What they do is it shuts down the truck at a switch on a transmitter. If he was to get into trouble, a track official can shut the truck down. It's a safety precaution.
With Spider-Man on the left, Bigfoot on the right. This is the main event, straight line drag, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And the start looks to me like Bigfoot may have edged him right there at the line. Let's check the standings. It is Bigfoot. It's 2.755.
That was a close race.
That's really close. 2.797 for Jensen and Spider-Man. The win determined by hundredths of a second in Monsters of Destruction action. They head for the pits. Let's take another look at the main event. Here's a look inside the cab of Harkey. Got so much happening, so much going on. Another look at it from the overhead camera.
Dave just gets the jump on him.
Yeah, he did. Beautiful start for Harkey, and right there. There you go, right there. Harkey just literally hundredths of a second in front of him. So the straight line drag results. Round number 9. Bigfoot takes it. Spider-Man second. Dragon Slayer, Monster Patrol, Kevin Harvick, and Samson finishing last in straight line drags. Let's take a look at the standings. After round number 9, Dragon Slayer 188, Monster Patrol, Bigfoot, Spider-Man, and Kevin Harvick. Let's go down to the field and Raquel Gardner.
Still scares me. Dave, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I tell you what, first off, I got to say thank you to Ford, Firestone, Mac Tools, all our great sponsors. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't be out here doing this every weekend.
No, I hear you. Now tell me, what was going on out there?
I tell you, Paul's a tough competitor. I just had to get my head together, and I knew I had to be early on the light. He's young, and these young guys have good reaction times, and I knew I had to do something.
Yeah, but you know what? You're a veteran in the business. You've been around all these guys, young and old. You know how to deal with them.
Yeah, I tell you, I can just give credit back to everybody back at the shop. I might be the guy that's lucky enough to drive it, but they're the ones that build it and put it under me, and it's just you got to give them all the credit. They're the ones that put this thing together.
Well, yeah, but you're not that bad either. You got to drive this thing.
Now you have the fun part.
You do have the fun. Now, we've got the Chicago-style racing coming up when you said that's your specialty.
It's my favorite. I'd rather do roundy around the straight line. I love the horsepower, but you know what? I like to throw a little driver skill in there, too.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you. Thanks a lot. Dave Harkey, everybody. Bigfoot. Let's hear it for him.
Chicago-style racing coming up next on Monsters of Destruction. Racing. This will bring out Bigfoot against Kevin Harvick in a different type of format tonight. Rick Swanson, tell us about this.
What we're doing is we're actually putting half a lap more into it. You're going to start, go over 2 cars, then make your first left over your main set of cars, second left, the cars on the other side of the arena, third left over your cars to the finish line.
And both vehicles will start at the same time.
Yeah, you're constantly running around with both trucks on the floor at one time.
Harkey on the right, Amber Skywalker on the left. Let's watch the competition. A lot longer, you're on the track longer, the crowd seems to like it, right?
It also gives you an extra turn. One more jump on cars, plus an extra turn.
That could be a problem,
There's a lot more going on.
A lot more going on. Let's see what happens. All right, Amber gets off the line cleanly. Harkey a little bit better. There's a shot of Harkey inside the cab. Chicago style. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. And Amber goes on her head.
MOD has their first rollover.
Oh, my goodness. The first time this year a truck has gone on its head. Kevin Harvick did not finish. Bigfoot gets a ticket to ride in the semi. Because of that, the officials are running up there. What's going through? Now, she's okay? We think she's okay, Rick?
Yeah, it's no. Believe me, I've been over a few times. The hardest thing right now is when you undo the safety belts, not falling.
Look at the crowd getting around
thing.
and watch. It's a crowd favorite. When somebody crashes, they want to see it.
Well, that'll definitely help the novelty sales for her tonight.
So apparently she's okay. She's not gotten out yet. They're talking to her.
Yeah, she's just crawling out. In those trucks, there's so much to get around. She has to, actually, I believe she has to come out the top side because this side's covered for protection so the tires can't throw stuff up into the cab.
Well, the crowd is watching.
See, look, you can see some movement. Here she's popping out now.
There she is, coming out on the bottom. She's okay, waving to the crowd, apparently all right. Now, Paul Schaefer, her boss, will have something to say to her in the pits, I'm sure. Take another look at it. Longer, a couple more turns in the race and a longer...
Well, see, what happens is she just didn't go deep enough on that corner. She tried to take that corner tight. What happens, when you take them tight, you don't get on the cars all the way. And she was still trying to turn. Watch as she goes around this corner.
Right here.
She's too tight. So now she, instead of being a turn, she's trying to square the turn off. And she's already off the cars at that time.
And that's what happens. It goes right on her head.
See, if you go a little deeper, you can go faster over the cars because you're going to be a straight shot over the cars.
She tried to cut it too close.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I guess there wasn't enough room, or she thought there wasn't enough room to get back on the gas because she could have got it back down if she could have got on the gas fast enough. But that's in the driver's seat's a lot different than us watching.
Yeah, here she is climbing out, close shot, waving to the crowd. She's okay. That beautiful $1 million smile, giving it to the crowd. She climbs out. She's okay.
Yeah, they'll just pull it right back over. So that's what they're doing right now.
Now, is there much damage to a truck in something like this, do you think?
No, that was a very gentle.
Really?
I mean, you're going to have a little bit of fiberglass damage. Basically, put some duct tape on it. It better do freestyle tonight.
Well, the Caterpillar pulls the truck back over. The crowd applauds the driver, and let's go down to the field and find out what
Are you going to still be able to race, or is it done?
I have no idea. It depends on if anything's broke or not. I've never rolled like that before.
You've never rolled like that before?
No, I don't usually roll racing, and I tried to steer into it, and there's just not enough room to be able to self-correct. I mean, once you get in trouble, if you don't have room to give it gas and steer into it, you're in trouble.
Girl, you think Paul's upset?
He's always mad at me, so it doesn't matter, really.
How can anybody be mad at this face? Come on now. All right, thanks a lot, girl. Hey.
A tough break for Amber Skywalker. We'll be right back with more exciting action from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Instruction, Larry Huffman and Rick Swanson calling the action. Heat number 2 will be Spider-Man. He was scheduled to go up against Monster Patrol, but Monster Patrol suffered a broken shock, and they're working on it in the pits. So Jensen gets a single run, and you say, Rick Swanson, this is a good thing for a driver.
Yeah, because You get to go out, you get to look at the corners, say, well, I'm going to try and do it this way, or I'm going to try this corner this way. And since you have so many left turns you get to make on this, he can try 3 different ways to make that left turn and not have to worry if he can hit a turning pole. He can spin it around. He can slide out. He can do whatever he wants because he doesn't have competition. He's automatically advancing.
So there's no pressure.
No pressure except a complete learning curve to be better for the next round.
Okay, Jensen gets staged. Spider-Man. This is heat number 2 in the Chicago-style racing. Extended course this time, extended track.
And that's going to be the most important thing is the start over the first 2 cars, how smooth you can get over it.
Well, no, notice that he's not doing what Amber did. He's going way wide on that turn.
That gives him the straight shot for the cars, which actually sets him up for the corners better.
Yep.
You can slide the car.
Paul Jensen and Spider-Man, heat number 2 in Chicago-style racing here at Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He is smooth as a mayonnaise sandwich. His time, 23.661 seconds. One more look at Spider-Man's single run.
Here's where you're going to watch. See how hard it comes down on the front? That's going to be the difference on who gets around that first corner the fastest.
Now, what do you mean, coming down hard on the front?
Well, because there's only 2 cars, your front end goes up and over the 2 cars and passes the landing ramp, so it comes down slats. Sometimes that can bounce you hard enough to mess you up for your corner.
But he's driving it right. He's doing a good job.
Well, by being his first shot with no competition, having a bye run, he got to, okay, let's try and go fast. Let's try and do it a couple different ways.
Coming up next, heat number 3, Dragon Slayer against Samson. That's, we talked about Dan Patrick earlier. Samson, the big man, the big arms. Been around for a long time. Like you say, he builds a lot of trucks, huh?
He builds a lot of them. I bet he's probably built 90% of the trucks that are out there.
Interesting. Dan Patrick driving Samson.
That's who built my frame and is building my new frame for my new truck.
He is going up against Dragon Slayer.
He's going to come back to redeem himself, I guarantee it.
Well, he didn't do that well earlier. Let's see what he does now.
You know, everybody has a off moment in their life, and let's hope that was his for the night.
Christensen is tough in Chicago-style racing too, though, is he not?
That will just show you how good Dan is, how well he runs with Craig.
They line up. Dragon Slayer.
He went slow over it, which lines him up for the corner faster.
You're talking about Dragon Slayer or Samson?
Samson.
Dragon Slayer gets a little crossed up there and off the side of the cars. Whoa! Yeah, that's costing him time, isn't it?
Oh,
Rick?
yeah. Sometimes being the fastest into a corner is not necessarily the best. Samson had him.
He seems to pick up some of the time, though it looks like it may have gone to Dragon Slayer. Let's check the clocks. Yep, Dragon Slayer barely in front, 22.621. Samson, 22.674.
Broke his sway bar. See the bars hanging down?
Broken?
Sway bar's broken.
Uh-oh. Well, that cost him the race.
That's why, see how he's going slow, but it's leaning so bad? He has no sway bar, so nothing to hold the truck.
And that cost him the race, back and forth. So Samson heads to the
That's
pits.
so if you notice, the second to the last corner, Samson was way out wide. I bet you that's when it broke.
Take another look at it. Here's the start.
See how smooth he was over the first cars?
Yep.
It's broken right there.
He knows
He's doing this whole race without a front sway bar.
And he knows it.
Yeah, so to be that close.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that.
Look at it leaning. That means when he's going into the corners, he's actually carrying, see, he's carrying tires.
He was leaning like a drunken sailor on a 2-day pass. Up and over and hit. That will give the win to Dragon Slayer, but very close. Good driving by Samson, 22.621. Taking a look at from the overview camera, and you can see what's happening. Rick, he's got problems.
Well, actually, he's actually doing really good considering we already know it broke on that first corner. Look where he's at. Look where he's in front of Craig. Unfortunately, look how bad it's leaning right there.
That's the problem.
He has to get out of it. Now, Craig also had some other problems, too, that slowed him up. Over the second set of cars, Craig actually had to stop, reposition before he could get off the second set of cars. So that slowed him up a little.
Let's look at it. Here it is right here.
Right there. See, so that was a little time. But with Dan being broken on the sway bar, him doing that, it's still a good race.
Semifinal action coming up. Don't go away. Don't touch that remote. And round 9 of Monsters of Destruction, Larry Huffman and Rick Swanson. And here we go with semi number 1. Bigfoot against Spider-Man. And there's a good look at Dave Harkey, and his helmet is corresponding with the colors of his truck.
Yeah, it's the flag truck. It's a really good truck. It gets a lot of publicity. all patriotic and whatnot.
Here's a look from the outside.
It's got the Statue of Liberty on the hood.
And here we go with Spider-Man, Paul Jensen. This is semi number 1. The winner will get a ticket to ride in the main event. What's he doing now?
Well, he's out there strutting and stuff. You got to remember, Paul's been doing really good this year. He's got a lot of wins underneath his belt, so let Bigfoot go out, let him announce it as the superstar and whatnot. Now it's time for the kid to come out, strut his stuff, let everybody see who he is.
A little psychological game playing, eh, Mr. Swanson?
That's called being a good driver.
I see. Here we go with Spider-Man. That's Paul Jensen. He's on the left side of your screen. On the right side is Bigfoot. Inside camera, that's Harkey driving Bigfoot. He backs up to get set. Longer course, extended course tonight. First time we've seen this. Rick Swanson, you like it?
Oh, yeah, I think it's a much better course to run on. The longer the course, the better as far as I'm concerned.
Spider-Man on the right, Harkey on the left. They go with the two cars.
Dave takes a pretty hard bounce right there.
Spider-Man looking awfully good. Oh, a problem. What happened there, Rick Swanson?
Got into the corner a little too soon, so he had to correct, and then he had to square off the corner rather than making it a complete U.
That's going to cost him time, and he was leading earlier.
Right there cost him time. The front end lifted up, and then the back end slid around.
Well, the Bigfoot will take the victory. 21.866 seconds, almost 2 seconds, actually over 2 seconds behind him is Spider-Man, 23.964. And we saw exactly what happened. He tried to square off the corner, and that was a problem. He heads for the pits, and Jensen is not happy. Let's take another look at it. Inside Harkey's truck.
There's the hit that when I was talking about coming over that first set of cars, you got to watch out, because if you take a hard hit, you may, by the time you get corrected, be too deep into that first corner. So that's a question. That's a driver's, what they feel is the best way to take those first two cars.
So Dave Harkey getting a look all the way around the entire race inside the cab camera. Here's the start.
See, watch right there.
That's a jolt. That jolted its ancestors.
Yeah, it's one of those, like I said, you got to just be real careful on those hits. But now look at that. Right over the cars, right down the landing ramp, which put you right in line to set up for
exactly where you want to be.
See, now notice that corner versus the first corner.
Okay, now let's watch Spider-Man. Talk us through this one.
See, fairly smooth over it. A nice U-turn. No corners, just a constant.
But here's the problem right here.
Right here. See, he slides. When he slid, it brought the back end around too fast, which allows him to get too deep here. And see, once the front tire lifts, he slides out.
And that's about a second for each one, so that's his 2 second.
Yeah. Now this, I think,
right
is just frustration.
Yeah, he's not happy. Jensen is not happy. He usually does a lot better than this.
Yeah, you know, it can't be your game all the time.
Here's Spider-Man inside. Let's watch that landing.
Let's see if he shakes his head if he was mad.
He hit the ground awfully hard. He's getting thrown around a lot, Rick Swanson.
That's where he slid. See how it jerked around?
Yep.
That's when he slid.
That's the first time.
Yes.
He did it twice, cost him 2 seconds.
Coming up right here. See how he's coming back to the cars? He had to go out and come back. You see him turn the wheels real quick. See, his right hand's on the rear steering.
Well, you've got to steer both the front wheels and the rear wheels while you're doing everything else in there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here we go with semi number 2. This will be Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer set to go up against Sampson. A problem earlier with Sampson. What happened, Rick? What did he break?
Broke his front sway bar, which allowed it to lean too much, so he couldn't get around the corners.
And they've not got the machine ready yet, so it's going to be a single run for Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer, the Tough Country Suspension Hummer out of Utah. Single run.
I'm sure Dan will be back for freestyle. Dan has more parts and he knows what to do with in his trailer. I like racing with him because if I break anything, that's a good thing about having a Patrick truck. I know I can go get parts from him.
So Dragon Slayer comes out. It's Craig Christensen, the tough, cocky little guy out of Utah, just north of Salt Lake City. He loves to win. Let's see what he can do in this single run. Again, it's an advantage. You don't have any pressure, right?
Well, see, he's already done first round 1, so he's got, you know, the confidence behind him. In the first round, got to see, well, I didn't do this corner just quite right, so let me try doing it this way because I can't lose. I'm running myself. So this is a huge advantage going into the finals.
So he'll go directly to the main event after this because it's the only one that ran this semi. Bigfoot or Sampson was not able to run. Okay, Dragon Slayer, 22, not too bad, 22.339 seconds, and Sampson did not start. hence he did not finish. So Craig Christensen again goes to the main events. He'll be going up against Bigfoots. Inside the cab, tell us what's going on, Rick Swanson.
Once again, his right hand's on his rear steering, left hand on the steering wheel. Once he gets off the line, he shifts. He's running a power glide, so he only has one shift. So from there on out, it's steering. Both hands, one on the steering wheel, right on the rear. Your foot's on gas and brake the whole time because you got to constantly slide the truck around.
And that's what he's doing. And doing a pretty good job, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah. You'll notice with all the bouncing around, that's why his shoulders hurt so bad the next morning. Because your hands on the steering wheel and on the rear shifter, on the rear steering, that aren't bouncing, but your shoulders are. So all the weight gets put right through your shoulders and elbows.
Coming up next, the main event in Chicago-style racing from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Monsters of Destruction, round number 9. This is the main event, Chicago-style. Dragon Slayer against Bigfoot. Craig Christensen against Dave Harkey in his first appearance this year in Monsters of Destruction. There's Harkey right there. Here's a start. Extended track, which Rick Swanson likes very much. No problem so far for Christensen. Doesn't look like it, right, Rick
He's
Swanson?
flat tracking pretty good.
Slipping and sliding through the mud, the blood, and the beer. And Christensen wheelies over the cars to celebrate it. He won it. Dragon Slayer takes the victory with a 20.92 clocking. Bigfoot right behind him, 21.904. Well, there comes Raquel Gardner coming out there with our cameraman Phil Desmangle to get an interview with Craig Christensen. As we're waiting for them, let's go back and take a look at the replay, and let's look and see what happened, Rick Swanson, on this main event. Very important win for Dragon Slayer's Craig Christensen. As we go to the replay, Rick Swanson, it would appear that Christensen was a little more smoother around the corners.
A little more smoother around the corners and on the start, which set him up for the first corner. Once he gets going, as he goes around this back corner, he's actually flat tracking the truck. He's sliding the whole back of the truck.
Yep.
As he comes around here, look at him hang that front tire.
Whoa! Inside comes way up, about 3 feet off the ground. Good win for Christensen. Another look at the start. Bigfoot hit his part.
So that first corner, because the cars are set in from the outside cars, is actually a tighter corner than the other two. So that start's really important to get set up and get ready for the tight corners, because the second two corners are much rounder, so you can slide the truck around.
Go further out, in other words.
Yeah. You can flat track it.
So let's take a look at exactly how Craig Christensen did flat track around this track in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Again, he stayed on the gas. Let's watch the start. Here we go. Rick.
Sets up nice for that first corner. Slides it around. Just clears the cars, and that's when he starts flat tracking it, as he slides that back end around.
Yep, no mistakes.
Nope. And that's where he starts hanging that front tire. He took the locker out and went to an open differential, and that's why you'll see when he's going around the corner, the tire's spinning.
So the Chicago-style result: Dragon Slayer, Bigfoot, Spider-Man, Samson, Monster Patrol, and Kevin Harvick here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And the point standings after 9. Dragon Slayer 202, Bigfoot, Monster Patrol, Monster Moose, and Spider-Man rounding out the top 5 after round 9. Let's go down to Raquel Gardner on the floor. Raquel?
Let's let him get his helmet off. I always know Craig is in for some surprises. He gives us some great shows. Congratulations.
Thanks. Like I say, I heard him announcing that I had competition here this weekend. You know what? I have a competition every weekend, but I don't care who it is. If I have to step my game up a little bit, to win it, I win it. I love the roundy round course. I don't care if it's Chicago style, J race, Winston-Salem race, whatever they want to call it. I come here for one reason. I come here to win.
Now, of course you do, and you win a lot. Now, this is a different kind of course. This is a little bit different than what the normal courses look like. Now, tell me what you're thinking of this.
Well, it's a little bit different. We normally only go over the cars 3 times. We go over the one turn and come back over. And when you're coming back around, you're thinking, I keep telling myself, okay, I got to go one more time. It's a little bit longer than we're used to, but like I say, I kind of like the flat track around through the corners, so I really pitch the truck and try to make it spin all the way through the corner. And the best thing I like about the obstacle racing is that it's all driver. Anybody can get in a truck and drive fast in a straight line, but it takes a driver to be able to get around the track, and put on a show. But you know what? Freestyle still coming up.
I know, and you are crazy in freestyle. Well, we look forward to it. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Craig. Craig Christensen, you guys. Dragon Slayer!
Congratulations, Craig. We'll be back with exciting freestyle competition from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now, probably the most popular part of action, freestyle. With Kevin Harvick, Amber Skywalker, you saw her go on her head earlier. Let's see what she can do in freestyle competition tonight. The crowd loves it. The drivers, well, I guess you do like it, right, Rick?
Yeah, racing's always a little more rewarding because you actually come to a winner. Not a crowd-decided winner, a distinct winner. Freestyle is one of those things that you get pumped up, and as things start happening, the more you drive, the more the crowd gets into it. Next thing you're looking at is, how big's the jump? That center jump, that freestyle landing ramp has to be hit, especially with those cars set up like that.
Here's Amber, and she's got 90 seconds. She's well into it in her presentation of her freestyle competition. Do you know what you're going to do when you come out there, or do you kind of make it up as you go along?
In the small arenas, you have an idea, I want to hit this, 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 and this. As we go outdoors, you'll see it. You have to really plan where you're going to be, and then once you're out there, you also have to react on whatever happens with the truck while you're out there. Sometimes you take a funny bounce, and instead of being lined up for this jump, you're going to be lined up for this one, but you better gas it to get over there in time.
Well, Amber waving to the crowd, taking the accolades of the crowd in her presentation in freestyle. She didn't go on her head. She didn't break anything. She's okay. She climbs back into the truck. I'd like to take a little look at it. We were talking about the freestyle competition with you, Rick Swanson. Let's take another look at Amber and how she did. The crowd likes big air. They want to see the trucks get up in the air 5, 10 feet as high as they can get. Let's take another look at her. Well, she gets up and over the first cars, lands kind of crooked. Another look at it.
It's an arena. It just doesn't have the oh wow factor. Now, if she would have went off that big jump over there, then you'd have the oh wow factor. And being the first out, when you do the big jumps, you're making all the other drivers in the back go, oh, what do we have to do to top that?
Coming up next, Bigfoot. Now, Bigfoot, Harkey likes freestyle competition. Let's see what he does.
See how he's standing the truck up a little more? And he's keeping the truck moving. The key to freestyle, whenever you can, you want to keep on and off the throttle, especially in an arena where you don't have a lot of room to do things. You want to be on and off the throttle because you want that engine noise to echo in there.
Yeah, and that turns on the crowd, right? He's going a lot faster than Amber, taking a weird run across those cars, a little bit sideways.
Trying to find out how to do something different.
That's knocked over timing pole. He did that different. But remember, the crowd is what determines the winner. The applause of the crowd.
Oh, yeah. You got to get the crowd into it. And here you go.
Whoa.
This is how you get the crowd into it.
And he stops right there. Now, what's going on, Rick?
He's taking lessons from me getting the crowd wound up. I think he's seen some previous Monsters of Destruction.
Evil Knievel faint. Comes back out again.
Nah, he's doing good. He's doing what he needs to do to get the crowd wound up.
Comes up with a big ramp. Coming up and over and launches all the way over and down to the ground.
Yeah, see, now when we go outside, that would have been pulled off to like a 200-foot wheelie. So, I mean, there's a lot more excitement.
Well, the crowd is responding too. He's getting a lot of air, getting a lot of big air, and looking good doing it.
Yeah, I've been driving with Dave quite a few years, and he's a really good freestyler. He knows what to do. Like I said, once we get outside, all the rules change. We only have one more. We have tomorrow night and one more indoor event in St. Paul, and then it's outside and foot to the floor, and let's get some real freestyle going.
Well, he's not doing too bad here. The crowd is responding a lot at this Dave Harkey of the Bigfoot truck, an older truck, but he's making it dance.
See, now he's got to go over that jump backwards. He's set precedent.
Well, that's it for Harkey. He waves to the crowd. The crowd responds. They love that competition. They love what he did. Dave Harkey and Bigfoot in an older truck. But he sure looks good tonight here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Yeah, but when you say an older truck, when you're talking about the Bigfoot trucks, it may be older in age, but not in technology.
Yeah. Okay, another slow motion look at him, getting almost straight up and down. Running over a hood of one of the cars that had been crushed.
He likes to do wheelies.
10,000 pounds. Look at this. Look, talk this through this, Rick.
Right, you know, right there. If you're outside, you gas it. I've seen Dave drag that tailgate off before. It's the best looking thing to watch.
Perfect jump over the big jump. He waves to the crowd again.
You know, this is probably the most important thing for the drivers to do, too. I always try and do it. I try never to forget. Every once in a while it happens. But when you get out and wave, when you're up in autographs afterwards, when the little kids come up and say, "You were waving at me," you say, "Uh-huh."
We go now to freestyle, the final vehicle. This is Dragon Slayer Craig Christensen. He has done very well in freestyle competition, Rick, and let's see what he does tonight.
Well, Craig has to do good because he's won a round in racing, you know, and now it's all, hey, I got to be better. Here you go. Backwards up the jump.
Craig Christensen of the Tough Country Hummer. He built it himself with his stepson, Paul Jensen, the Spider-Man driver. Now, what's going on now? Did he break? Something's going on there, Rick Swanson.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Craig wouldn't stop that soon.
The steering, I believe, something wrong in the steering. Let's see from the
He's
inside.
fighting the steering wheel. He lost his front steering.
Lost the front steering. Well, it's tough
Must
to
have had a
drive.
pump go out or something.
Tough to drive a monster truck with just the rear wheel steering, correct?
Yeah, you know, especially indoors, it's not like there's enough room to chance for something to go wrong.
He's hanging it up. That's it for Craig Christensen, and I know he's not happy about that. He gets out. He's talking to the official. He comes around. It'll look at the front of the vehicle. Can you tell us what's wrong, Rick?
I don't see nothing. You know, it's not like there's any hydraulic oil leaking.
Take another look at it. Slow motion. He comes up to the cars right in the middle. The big ramp. And over the other side, the Matterhorn. One more look at it. It looks like this is where he may have had the problem. May have caused the break. Let's go down to the field, and the winner, Dave Harkey, with Raquel
And this
Gardner.
is my first time meeting you, Dave.
What do you think so far?
I think you're awesome.
Well, thank you very much.
Your driving, you know what I love about your driving? It's very skilled. I can tell that you've been in the business a long time because you're very precise on what you do. There's no messing around with you.
You're right. I said it earlier, and I can't say it enough. I got to give the guys back at the shop all the credit. I might be the nut behind the wheel, but they're the ones that built the machine. They put it together. They put by far one of the best trucks, in my opinion, out here. And
I think so too. I see the way that your truck rides, and it's very well put together. But now tell me, with freestyle, you can do whatever you want. What makes you decide what you're going to do when you get out here?
I'm supposed to decide.
I'm supposed to think?
Yeah, freestyle is just all about having fun. No, we've worked hard all day. We've worked on the trucks. We've came out here and raced, and it's our turn to play and let loose a little bit. I tell you, I sit back in the pits night after night. I try to think of a routine that I'm going to come out here and do for freestyle. But you know what? Once I put that helmet on and I hit that first car, that routine's all out the window. It's whatever gets in front of me, I'm hitting it.
Well, you did a great job tonight, and apparently everybody loved you. Thanks a lot for coming out, and we hope to see you again soon.
Oh, you bet I will. And want to thank everybody for coming out tonight.
Give it up for Bigfoot, David Harkey.
So round 9 of Monsters of Destruction is in the books. I'm Larry Huffman along with Rick Swanson. We hope you've enjoyed the action tonight. We'll be back with round 10 next time on Monsters of Destruction.